Okay, so today we are having a look at this Nanlite PavoSlim 120C. So this is not a new product, it's a panel light with 120 watts, and let's have a look at it. So this is what's in the bag. So first thing we want to see is the control box. So this is the control box of the 120C. On the top we have our power switch, we have our AC in, DC in, and the output. So these are kind of waterproof, but I don't know if this whole thing is waterproof or not. Okay, so you can also use a V-mount battery to power the system. You can use 14 to 26 volts, and you can power this easily off a V-mount battery directly. So you can see that this case has a lot of space because the panel is 2x1, so the case has to be a 2x1 size. So we have the grid over here. You get cables. So this is your power cable. This is your head extension lead. So this one is a male and female. You can extend them. You can buy more to extend them. And over here we have the mounting options. So this is the mount for your light stand and the control box. So it's kind of like a V-mount plate design. So this thing goes onto your light stand and then you just clip it on like this. So this is one of the mounting brackets. So you can see that it is a kind of a ball thing. So it's made of metal, goes to your light stand, it's a baby pin. You can angle this, I'll show you later. And finally we have the pin adapter. So you can put this in your gobo head or you can rig it in other ways. It is the light panel itself. So it's a 2x1. This is what it looks like. So you can see it's made of metal, there are some mounting holes here. And there's some velcro at the side. So the softbox comes attached to the light panel itself. So this is the light panel with the softbox attached. You can see that this is what the light panel looks like. It's basically a hard panel with LEDs and lenses. There's a covering over so you won't damage the individual LEDs. So the individual LEDs come with lenses, so it's a RGBWW. So there's a white and a RGB diode inside. So like I was saying about these mounting brackets, the mounting brackets can be attached to any part of this. There are 3 positions where you can attach the mounting brackets, and it is actually so thin you can rig it in anywhere that originally a light wouldn't fit. There are also 1/4 holes at the corners, so you can use this to put your eyelets, and then you can use wire or rope to actually hang it up in any way. Okay, so I'm going to show you how easy and quick the setup of this PavoSlim light is. So as you can see, it's really lightweight and really thin. You can just handle it like this, no problem. So I'm going to be using a pretty lightweight light stand. So this is a small light stand. It's not a particularly heavy duty one. So let's open up our light stand first. So now we're going to attach the light stand holder bracket onto the light. So if I'm going to turn it down like this, I might want to attach it here. If I'm going to give it more vertical, maybe I'll attach it here. So this lets me play with the angles a bit more. I'm going to put it at the bottom so we get the maximum range of motion. So it just clicks in like this. Then you just put it on the light stand. Screw it down. And that's it. So you loosen the ball and you can adjust the angle of it. So like I said, if we attach it to the bottom, we can angle it down a little bit more. Like so. Now we will mount the control box to your light stand. This is the bracket for the stand. Just put it on. Like so. Then you take your control box, slot it on, take your head lead, connect it to the control box. The other end goes onto the head. So you just push it in and it clicks. To release it, you just turn and then unplug it. So I think these supposedly are kind of waterproof. And that's it. Now you have your power cable. It goes in here. And you just turn it on and we have power. So as you can see, this has an integrated softbox. So to deploy the softbox, you just open the tabs and the softbox is deployed. So now you have a soft 2x1 light. This is the grid. So it's kind of a fitted grid. So there's quite strong elastics on it. So basically, you just put it on like this. It's very, very well fitted. And the front of the frame is actually quite solid. So you just pull it over. So we have put the grid on so simply. So this is the fastest thing to set up and tear down in terms of a soft light. However, you may want to note that you cannot keep it with this grid on. You have to remove the grid, but the softbox can stay on the light all the time. Alright, so now let's look at the menu of the PavoSlim and interface. So I think all the PavoSlims have a similar kind of interface. It's just how big the control box is. So to turn it on, you just switch the switch on top and it should power on. Okay, so this is what are the interface buttons, mode, menu, and two knobs that can also be pressed. So we press mode and then we can change CCT, HSI, RGB, gel, and effects. So let's go to CCT. So you adjust and then you press this to go in. So this is for your dimmer or adjusting the value, and this is your selection. So we can press mode and we can go to another mode, which is HSI. So this being a full color light, you select and then press this, and we can see dim, hue, and saturation. Pretty simple. So you can press this to cycle through in 60-degree intervals, so you can quickly get to your setting. Or also you can just use this, and this knob is really nice to turn. You can go really fast through the hue values. And with the dimmer, it's the same thing. You press this to turn it off, then you can press it again to turn it on. Saturation, you can use this to dim it in saturation, or you can max out the saturation. So we also have RGBWW mode, which is kind of a manual setting. You can set your RGB settings manually like this. You can turn everything on. RGBWW, everything, if you want to use this manually, but I rather use CCT. There's also a gel mode with a gel library inside. So there are a lot of kind of things there. So there's your CTO, CTB, Lee, and I don't know if there's Roscoe, but there's a lot of Lee filters in this. And your standard effects, you can go and play around with it. Select the settings, adjust the settings. Okay, then when you hit menu, there are a few menu options. Your address for your DMX. So this has CRMX control and also, I guess, wired DMX, but you need an adapter. So you can just adjust the settings for your DMX over here. Alright, so it's a very simple light. It's a full color light. RGBWW, so nothing new that you don't already know if you own a RGBWW light. Alright, so let's get into the test data for the PavoSlim 120C. So all measurements here were taken at 1 meter using the data color light meter as I usually do. So I tested the light bare bulb at 3200, 4300, and 5600 Kelvin. I also tested the full diffusion applied on at 5600 Kelvin. I measured the lux output, CCT accuracy, and green magenta shift. So starting with the dimming linearity of the light, the main takeaway for me is that the light is not fully linear at the very bottom end. At 1%, it behaves more like roughly 3% of output, and at 5% setting, it's behaving more like 6 to 7% of output. And once you're at 10%, it is quite close but still slightly higher than an actual 10% of its real maximum output. Above that, the behavior improves a lot. From about 25% onwards, the output becomes predictable, and from 50% to 100%, it tracks very well. This was consistent across the 200, 4300, and 5600 Kelvin. So now let's discuss the diffusion output loss. The full diffusion does reduce the output by quite a lot, but in a very predictable way. So this is a full diffusion cloth, and as expected, you get only 23 to 26% of the bare output with it on. So practically, you're looking at about a 2-stop loss, which is expected for this type of full diffusion setup. For CCT accuracy, the strongest result we observed at 3200 Kelvin based on my testing. It measured very close to the target with only a small average error. 4300 Kelvin was also quite decent, but it measured slightly cool overall. 5600 bare bulb was the weakest of the three. It consistently measured cooler than the target, and at full power it read about over 6000 Kelvin. The interesting thing is that with the full diffusion on at 5600 Kelvin, the light came much closer to the target overall. There was one outlier at about 2% that I observed, but ignoring that, the average reading landed very close to 5600 Kelvin. So in short, the 3200 Kelvin setting is very accurate, 4300 is good, 5600 bare bulb is a bit cool, and 5600 with full diffusion is much closer to the target. So for green magenta shift, neutral is not perfectly neutral across every setting. At 3200 Kelvin set on the light measured basically neutral for green magenta shift. At 4300 and 5600, it measured slightly green, about plus 1/8 green. When I pushed the fixture to plus 150 green, the meter read about plus 3/4 green, and when I pushed it to minus 150 magenta, it measured about minus 1/2 green. So the tint control is not a standard, is not symmetrical around neutral, because the neutral point sits a little green at the higher CCT settings already. And this 150 plus and minus is not an industry standard like your aperture lights. This is just their proprietary index and it doesn't mean anything. The most important thing I noticed with the tint adjustment though is that it also affects the measured CCT values. So at 5600 set on the light, the bare fixture already measured a little cooler, and when I added plus 150 green, the actual measured CCT moved to closer to 5600, but of course now the light was very green. The biggest shift was on the magenta side, so when I turned it to 150 magenta, the measured CCT jumped much higher, landing around the mid 6000 range. So the same thing happened with full diffusion on. Neutral, which is 0 green, and plus 150 green set on the light stayed reasonably close, but minus 150 magenta pushed the measured CCT significantly cooler. So if you're doing color critical work, after making a strong green or magenta adjustment, recheck your CCT with a meter. So apart from all this minor green magenta shifting at the extremes, I think that the output is very consistent, and the green magenta shift is actually very consistent at the normal settings with zero correction. So if you're using the light without much correction, it is one of the most accurate lights I've measured in terms of green magenta drift across the intensities and across the CCT values. So this is a very consistent and good quality panel light with just very small quirk of this magenta CCT shifting issue. Okay, so today we're in a watch shop. We're helping out John do a video today. We're going to do an interview. So we're going to try out this light today. So this is the Nanlite PavoSlim 120C. So this is a 2x1 120 watt full color panel light. And in a small space like this, as you can see, I think is perfect for the job. So what we're going to do is we're going to have two of them behind the counter, and we're going to just blast them from the top in front with this. So let's set it up and see how it goes. So now we're going to see what's in the case. So this comes applied like this. So you can see that it's really empty. So why it's so big is because it's a 2x1. So this is the panel itself. So you can see it is a very slim panel and it is 120 watts. So to mount this up, you are given two options. You can use the baby pin. So the baby pin slots in here. Or if we're using a light stand, such as this, we will use this light stand adapter. So I need a bit of wiggle room, so I'm going to just use the bottom one, I guess. So it's extremely light. I think it's less than 3 kg, maybe 2+ kg. Yeah. So you can just basically hold it like this, or we're going to mount it on the light stand over here. So I have a light stand here with a boom arm. So we're going to fix it up like this. So we're going to put the control box like at the back to balance this boom arm that we're using. It is a very lightweight light, so I'm using a very thin boom arm. This is a light stand. So after using this light in the field for a while, I think that the PavoSlim 120C makes the most sense as a specific kind of tool for a specific job. It's not trying to be the most powerful light possible, and I don't think it actually can replace a compact COB light with a softbox in terms of versatility.
It looks almost like a Omega Moser in that sense, you know.
So we've set up the PavoSlim above, so it's really soft. Looks good. And so easy to rig because you can see we are just using a very thin boom without any sandbag. So the biggest strength for me was the form factor and the rigging. The panel is very thin and lightweight, so it makes it really easy to place in tight spaces if you want to boom it overhead or use it as an edge light close to a wall. Because it's so light, it also feels safer and less awkward to rig than a heavier light and modifier combination. I like the mounting system. The brackets are very flexible, you can mount them in different positions on the fixture, and the included baby pin and light stand mount accessories feel quite solid and well made. The integrated softbox is also very practical. You don't have to actually build the modifier every time, it just stays on the fixture, so you can just deploy it and pack it down really fast. It's very silent, there's no fan noise, so that's good for interviews, your talking head videos, and quiet sets, and where the light is really close to your talent. On the control box side, the box also natively accepts V-mount batteries, and this full color version also supports CRMX. So this makes it more useful for your professional lighting setups and when you got a gaffer in your set. So overall, the light quality is also something that I really liked. It's very consistent, CCT accuracy is also good, and with full diffusion at 5600 Kelvin, it's very close to the target. So there's only a few quirks with that, like the 1% being a bit brighter than it's supposed to be, and the strange CCT drift when you turn the magenta correction all the way to the extreme. So now to what I didn't really like about this. So what I don't really like is the portability of it. So the panel is really thin, but it cannot be folded. So it is a 2x1 at this size. That's quite manageable, but as you get larger, you are still carrying around one big solid panel. So as compared with a small compact COB light and a rectangular softbox that you can fold up, this might be a bit less convenient to travel with if you are sort of taking the bus or the train or even a small car. The other downside of this is the output. While the output is usable, it is not best in class. In the current market, there are much more compact COB lights in the hundreds of watts that can be lighter, more powerful, and more versatile once you add modifiers like softboxes. So I like that this PavoSlim is actually a very good product, but I see it as a more specialized light for a more specialized use case. So my recommendation is this: if you need the specific advantages of a panel light, this is a good option, and if you want one light to do everything, this might not be your most versatile choice.